Sir, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you? You're looking so tired and
I
so
didn't get
stressed
my
out.
I didn't get my haircut, sir. So maybe that is why. Sir, how
No,
has
even
this
your eyes are
lockdown
going
been?
tired. I think that is the story of many CA students also, I think, who've been
That is why.
studying during the lockdown and expecting that there'll be an exam and then again it was cancelled.
Yes, sir. That is why I thought, why don't we call Vinit Suresh sir and take some tips from the man himself?
Good
Sir,
idea, Akash, because even we are missing the students. We are used to face classes, and now all of a sudden we are in the virtual world, and I'm really missing seeing the students on a daily basis. That is something which I'm really missing.
sir, like
So, how was
it
the
happened.
preparation?
It happened all of a sudden, sir. Like how it has been. Like all of a sudden, you had the batches running. All things were going fine, and this lockdown came like this, and you thought 10 days it will be done.
That's fine. I mean, new challenges and it's a new platform to teach in the online mode, and we're actually liking it because we are able to be there online, and students can watch it at their own convenience, and it's better than not having anything to do, because other than teaching, we don't know anything else to do. So it's a nice thing, that you were able to. But how are all of you guys? I mean, there are many of the CS students on the chat as well, and I just hope all of you are doing well and you're all studying well and managing the stress.
Trying to be positive, sir, because the exams got cancelled anyway. Our last 2, 3 years, the flow has been like this, and it's difficult to find the momentum again. So
I
hopefully,
understand. I mean, there are so many students, I mean, who have been taken leave, okay, from October, November 2019, they have been on leave for the May 2020 attempt, right?
yes, yes,
You
sir.
just imagine what they are going through. They have been studying for 6 to 7 months for
Yes,
the
sir.
exam in May. And now they're again having to study once again and grappling with articleship issues and asking for that excess leave once again. And it's horrendous. And even in fact, you have the tax audit season, which is going to be there because last date is 30th November. And
Yes.
I really want to be there. I mean, and help these students in this particular situation with their mental stress and anxiety. And that is the primary objective that I wanted to speak to you and many of them who are joining us right now. That is the primary objective actually.
Sir, I mean, what is your take, sir? Like, what do you think then? When will ICA give notification regarding the articleship leaves and all this stuff? It's been very long. We've been waiting for that. I personally have been home from November itself, and many people are asking me, like, ask sir
I know,
regarding
I know.
articleship.
The problem here is the CA who has given 6 months to 7 months leave, he has already given 6 to 7 months leave, and the articleship agreement, what you have has a 180 days leave. And even now, you won't believe me, Rahul, that as far as stock audit and the going to the client's place is concerned, we can't call the article student also because the situation is such the way COVID is spreading. I really feel, I mean, sad for those students who have been studying for so many months. I'll tell you, the first thing I want to address here is after studying for 7 months for the exam in May 2020, you won't believe even that student who has given 100% effort will suffer something known as a burnout. I'll tell you what a burnout is. The burnout is something which a student never identifies. That is the scariest thing about a burnout. I'll tell you what happens. A student studies extremely well for 6 months and 7 months. And after that, all of a sudden, he's told that the exam has been postponed to November because his July exam is cancelled. Then what happens is he thinks, I'm going to study for 10 hours tomorrow. He makes a timetable. You know how we make timetables, right? Because I want to talk to you like a student and everyone else. So don't for 1 second forget that I'm a teacher and think that I'm a student.
Yes, sir.
See, I make a timetable for 10 hours or 12 hours and I want to study 12 hours and I make that timetable. Next day, when I sit to study, for some reason that doesn't happen. The
Motivate.
student is unable to study even though he made a plan and he wants to study because he's been doing that for 7 months and he's suffering a burnout. And this
True.
happens day after day. And at the end of the day, he feels guilty that he wasted a day. Again, he makes a plan. Again, the next day is the same story again. This is a burnout, and the student doesn't understand. Okay, why is this is happening with me? I'm thinking to study, but I can't. Some people say lack of motivation, but trust me, Even if I motivate you now, Rahul, for about 10 to 15 minutes, that motivation will only work for the next 3 to 4 days.
True, sir.
I'm not telling this to discourage you guys, but you
True, sir.
need to handle this burnout very, very carefully. You need to change the study environment. You need to buy new stationery. You need to buy new books. Try to make it a new experience. Otherwise, I'm telling you, this is something which is real. Like they say, na, depression is real. Karke. Like that, burnout is something which is real. I want to tell the truth. I'm not here who wants to build castle in the air and sound like a motivator and tell you big, big stories and make you feel all charged up for the next 3 to 4 days and again back your, to the normal situation where you can study. So please handle that burnout, Rahul, yourself, and many other guys who are gearing up for the exam. The burnout is something which happens when you study for a long, long time, and again you're having to do everything again. So take a break of 10 days, just chill, watch Netflix, watch Prime, watch a nice TV show. I think that the Breathe ka second part has
Breathe
come.
into the shadows. Breathe into the shadows. And
Yeah,
Dark.
Breathe into the Shadows is very good, and even Netflix Dark also is good.
Dark, amazing.
Watch that. 10 to 12 days, just chill. And if you're having that burnout, take a break and then restart, rejuvenate yourself. That is the only thing. Remember, if you want success, it is only 1% motivation and 99% of perspiration.
Yes.
Right? Perspiration is where you need to give your hard work. Anyway, fine, Rahul.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Generally, what I go through a day is I wake up before sleep. I make my plan. Most of the times in the initial phase, like around February, March, I was able to achieve my timetable as simple as that. And I come out through this Instagram, I come out through this YouTube, and there are a lot of opinions and a lot of perceptions that exams will happen, exams will not happen. I'm pretty sure that it will continue for the next November as well. And there are a lot of people who come out with expressions like a lot of opinions. Exams will happen, exams will not happen. Ultimately, it will be decided by COVID or ICI, and we are stuck in that. And absolutely, I just needed a insight on this. How do we deal with this for the next 4-5 months? Because ultimately, what happens is we are social animals and we cannot be away from social media. We need to deal with it. But how do we deal with that, sir?
See, I'm not a guy who's going to tell you throw your phones in the Hussain Sagar, delete your Facebook account or delete your Instagram account. I'm not a guy who's going to tell that because I know that it is not possible for a guy to totally shut down after being shut down for 6 months.
Yes,
so
sir.
we are talking about 6 months of exam leave and another 3 to 4 months of exam leave. You're getting my point? So what I would suggest is to just live in the moment. We never really know what is going to happen. It is a challenge. And as they say, life throws stones at you. You need to convert them into milestones. This is what my role model, my idol, Sachin Tendulkar told me. And I must have told in a presentation that when people throw stones at me, I convert it into milestone. Today, there are stones being thrown at CA students from all corners of the world.
Yes.
Stones are being thrown by speculators on social media who say that exam may happen or may not happen. Stones are thrown by speculators. Stones are thrown by ICI in the form of confusing notifications. Stones are thrown from their CA's office where they are asked to come and work. You're facing so many things. You're grappling so many things, and there is a risk of contracting this deadly disease if you don't be safe at home. Being at home for 6 months, we're already suffering a burnout. We can't even go out and have a break because everything is closed. And therefore, these are issues which needs to be addressed at the basic level, and that is the purpose of doing this video. Yes, there are challenges, but the only thing that is in my control is to study. Remember, whether exam will happen or not, I don't know. Whether exam will happen or not at the scheduled time, we never will know. But as of date, there has been no change. So as of date, by God's grace, everything will go smoothly. But I would just suggest that let's focus on things which are under our control. Now, what is in my control as a faculty? In my control is to go every day and record my classes and give my 100% and ensure that I do it in the best possible manner. Give my 100% effort. After giving 100% effort also, out of 100 students, 99 students may understand. There will be one student who might not have understood. He will ask me a doubt on the Telegram. I will clarify that doubt and I will ensure that he understands. Now, I am not going to sit down and think, why didn't 100 people understand? Why did only 99 people understand? And think about it and rack my brain about it. I will give my best. We will give our best. We will do our best possible effort. We will try to, do what is in our control, and just forget about what is not there in your control. There is this art of letting go of things. So let's let go of certain things. I know it is difficult, but let go of things. Make a plan, make a timetable, and be very careful when you make a timetable, guys. I've seen students from the very beginning, they start making timetable where they write 20 hours of study, 4 hours of sleep. I mean, these kinds of impractical timetables, they will not achieve. And when they don't achieve, they will go into a depression. Will go into a depression. They won't be able to study. And it's a vicious circle. And suddenly, 1 month will be gone, 2 months will be gone. So start off with 8 hours a day, gradually scale it up to 10 hours, 12 hours, and 14 hours. That is more than sufficient. And let me tell you, the first time when you revise, please revise the 100% syllabus. Second time, you may have time constraints wherein you need to go as per the weightage of the subject and go ahead. Anyway, that is something which each individual student needs to decide. One more thing, Rahul, and everyone who's watching, please don't Google search for what timetable to follow here. For heaven's sake, don't Google what timetable to follow for studying for the exam here, for heaven's sake. Is somebody else going to tell you when you should study, what you should study, how much we should study? Have we become so dependent? Have we become so less sure about ourselves? Can't we make a timetable of our own? Why do we have to Google search and see what should be the timetable for me to study? The other day, one student was asking me, sir, what is the best study plan in the world? I told him the best study plan in the world is the study plan which you made, but which you didn't follow, so which you modified, which you again didn't follow, which you modified. So that सबसे पहले वाला जो study plan was there ना, that is the best study plan. So each student needs to combine his own strengths and weaknesses. Some students love theory, some students love practical. The only option is to have a blend of both and go ahead. I mean, there's nothing else that you can actually do. You need to have your own independent identity, your confidence, and yourself. You need to trust yourself more than anything else. So there is nothing like a best study plan in the world. Your own study plan is the best study plan, provided you follow without amendments and modifications.
I mean, you're referring to Kaizen costing, sir. Continuous improvement, but chote improvements.
Oh, that's nice.
Sir,
Kaizen.
I have other
Yes.
doubts, sir. You, Srinivas sir, and the whole KPMG team generally are used to address thousands of people in a day. Now you don't have anyone in front of you. You're just teaching. You're just teaching on that. How that has been, sir? That challenge. How did you take it?
It has been quite challenging, and but we are getting used to it. And we have a couple of students who come and they help us out, and we get a feel of the classroom, because trust me, we are actually doing the recording in the class, but since there is a lockdown, we lock everything up and no one is allowed. But we are giving our best, and by God's grace, the February batch which was ongoing, that suddenly all of a sudden was stopped because of the COVID. And by God's grace, we have been able to successfully resume that batch in May itself. And we've been receiving so much of positive feedback from the students about the way the classes are being conducted. In fact, one student told me that, sir, this is better than live class, because in classroom I have to come all the way, but now classroom is coming to our house. That is when I started using the word students can't come to classroom, so classroom will come to the students. That is what I've been telling people all these days. And yeah, it's going well, and it's going on. And thanks to many students who are there and who are coming and sitting. Initially, when we started, we had about 8 to 10 students who were supporting us. But now, as the cases have grown and all that, we are restricting it to only 2 or 3 students who are supporting us, and big thanks to them.
Sir, firstly, we'll come to the point many people are waiting for.
One more thing, Rahul, even though it is face-to-face, even though it is virtual, and even though it's an app, our fees has remained the same, We are still keeping the same. We are keeping the same student-friendly fees.
I was referring to that. You, Srinivas sir, I have seen it with my eyes. You have helped a lot of people economically. You actually have taken off the fees and you have reduced the fee. I have only given the fee which is actually costing the book price. I've seen it with my eyes. Sir, and recently I've seen you guys coming out and helping a cancer patient. Like, how do you take this, sir? How do you take this as a responsibility, or just happens like that? What goes to your mind when you're helping out?
I think it's I think that speaks about the heart of the person, whether it is Srinivas sir, myself, or anyone in the team. I think it just happens, and we respond it. We respond to it in the most spontaneous manner, and we get that kind of feedback. And students' love has been something which is very important to us. I still remember, Rahul. I'll never forget that incident in my life. There was this batch which was going on in the I think in 2019, somewhere in February. And in the middle of the batch, there was a student who used to come very regularly to the class for 20 days. And from the 21st day onwards, he wasn't there. He took a gap of about 10 to 12 days and he again started attending my class. And you know about me, I don't keep quiet. I keep asking the student, why didn't you attend and all that. I asked him, why did you not attend the class? Then he told me, sir, in the middle of the class, I lost my father. And it was a shock to me. And that is the reason I had to go back to my hometown. And then I told him, Arey Baba, why did you have to come back to this batch? You could have come to the next batch. You know, we are all flexible. Even if you are pay once, you can come and attend the next batch. There's no issue. We are all so student friendly. That is when he told me, sir, when I sit in classes of your institute, I don't feel that I'm away from my home. I just feel that I'm at home. And that was the biggest compliment that we got. And that time he told me that, sir, it was my dad's dream that I pass my CA, and that is why I am going to resume my class. You know, when you get that kind of response from the student, it touches your heart. And that is the reason why today our institute, whether it is the virtual mode or whether it used to be in the face-to-face mode, we are getting that huge response, which is for everyone to see. I mean, there is nothing to hide or, you know, inflate the figures. It's for everyone to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like you are my brother, sir, and you have always been there. Thanks for that. But coming
thank you. I feel very young now, and I feel happy whenever someone says something which makes me feel very young.
So the major part of the video, I mean, the purpose of this is many people are struggling with SCMP. The reason being because of the old syllabus and the new syllabus changeover, and next because of the theoretical part, and next because of the difficulty of terms to understand. The English is too complicated for people to understand. So is getting 70 plus possible in SCMP?
It is possible, and I am telling this with a lot of responsibility based on performance of my students. There is a 78, a 76, and a 72, and these marks were obtained in the new syllabus, and that is when I thought that this shouldn't be restricted to 3 students, it should be restricted to each and every student. Yes, there were many 60s, there were many exemptions, but why not aim high? Let me start off with an excellent quotation which Michelangelo gave us. He said, it is better to aim high and fail. It is better to aim high and fail rather than to aim low and succeed. It is better to aim for 70 and get 68. But it is not good to aim for a 50 and get a 54. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Now let's get to the subject. You see, 70 plus is possible in this subject only if you prepare in a strategic manner. Even the name of the subject is strategic cost management. So we are referring to smart work here and not hard work. You would have heard these terms and terminologies. Yes. Now carefully listen to what I'm saying. You see, initially, the first 2 attempts, the May 18 and the November 18 question papers, were almost 70% practical and 30% theory based. May 18 and November 18. Then in Jan 2019, the ICAI updated its study material and revised its study material in Jan 2019, in which very clearly the emphasis shifted to application-based theory. It is not memory-based theory, it is application-based theory. So June 19 question paper and November 19 question paper have almost covered 60 to 65% of application theory, 30-35% of the practical aspect. Now, how are the questions asked in this particular subject? You will get a question in which the first bit will have the word calculate, which will be for say 12 marks. Second bit will be advise, third bit will be recommend. So please note that there is no option to the student to leave the theory in choice because the theory is getting integrated along with the problem. And what kind of theory I am talking about? Please remember, there is no theory like what is this, state this, etc., where your memory is tested. The theory is always application based. For example, many students also do not know the weightage of marks for each section, even though they are preparing for the exam. This was published by ICI in the first half of 2019. Remember, chapter 1 to 5 is 25% weightage. Chapter 6 and 7 is only 15% weightage. Earlier, chapter 1 to 7 was totally given as 40% weightage without any breakup. So I'm repeating myself, chapter 1 to 5 is 25% weightage, 6 and 7 is 25% weightage, 8, 9 and 10 is 25% weightage, 11 and 12 is 15% weightage, and there is a case study for 20% weightage. Now, if I am preparing for the exam, my concentration will be on the weightage of 25%. So I will first attack chapter 1 to chapter 5, which has 25% weightage. Then I will attack chapter 8, 9, and 10, which has 25% weightage. So what happens? I have covered 50% weightage by covering these chapters of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. And let me tell you, chapter 1 and chapter 5 are very simple. There is nothing to worry. It is very easy. So chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10 is going to fetch me 50% of weightage in the exam. In such a scenario, I should give them utmost importance. Second point, there is also a chance of getting a case study from these chapters. High possibility of getting case study. Remember, in the November 2019 examination, there was a case study which was from chapter 8. So there is a high possibility that the coming attempt will have a case study from chapter 1 to chapter 5. I'm making a very important point here. Since November 19 case study was from chapter 8, the next attempt case study is going to be from chapter 1 to 5. Yes, I am willing to risk it. I am willing to risk it. There is a high possibility. Second issue, when a case study comes from these chapters, the weightage becomes 70%. Please note everyone. Chapter 1 to 5, 8, 9, 10, collective weightage 50%, chance of getting case study 20%, potentially it goes up to, 70% of weightage. So therefore, why do I have to neglect these topics? Let me be perfect in these topics. Now, immediately student will ask me a question. Sir, that means if I do chapter 1 to 5, 8, 9, and 10, is it enough? Can I leave chapter 6 decision making in choice? Can I leave chapter 7 pricing strategy? Can I leave budgetary control? Can I leave standard costing? Can I leave these 4 chapters? Here my answer is a no, and it is a big, big, big no. Please ask me why I am saying no.
Why, sir?
The reason I am saying no is, please note, the subject is totally interconnected. Now I'll ask you a question. You read chapter 1 to 5 and you read chapter 8, 9, and 10 and you went into the exam hall, right? You got a 20 marks question where the A bit was from just-in-time system, which you have done perfectly because it is in 3rd chapter. The B bit is for 10 marks from standard costing. What is your position in the exam? You're getting my point? So you can get a question where A bit is from the chapter which you studied and the B bit is a chapter which you didn't study. So even the chapter 6 and 7 which has 15% weightage and chapter 11 and 12 which have 15% weightage needs to be given equal importance. See, now I am actually dealing with what to study. I will be coming to how to study as well. So if I am a CA student preparing for SCM and PE, I will first of all look at chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Then move on to chapter 11, 12, 6, and 7 in any order of your preference. I wouldn't interfere with that, and then attack the examination. That is going to be my point. So now I told you what to study, in what order to study. Now let's look at how he is interlinking the questions. Listen now. There is a concept called life cycle costing in chapter 4. In life cycle costing, there is a connection with pricing strategy.
Yes, sir.
You know that? So chapter 4 ka question life cycle costing mein, there is a flavor of 7th chapter pricing strategy.
Yes, sir.
You know there are 2 pricing strategies, penetration pricing and skimming pricing. So the life cycle has 4 stages: introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage, and saturation stage. So the question can ask you, what should be my pricing strategy in each of the stages? And one more thing, let me tell you, what pricing strategy you adopt at the introduction stage is going to determine the strategy for the remaining stages. If I start initially in the skimming strategy, that is a high price, subsequently I'll have to lower the price. If I start with penetration pricing in the beginning, gradually I'll have to increase the price. So a student who does selective preparation and ignores 6th and 7th chapter just because they are less weightage is in for trouble. So what is the link I told you? Life cycle costing chapter 4, pricing strategy chapter 7. Link I want to share with you. Just-in-time system is which chapter? Third chapter.
Third chapter.
The third chapter, just-in-time technique, if you take out your study material, there is a question called KP Limited, which is an advanced problem. In that particular problem of just-in-time system in third chapter, you will not believe the output is given in terms of standard hours. The output is not given in terms of units. Output is given in terms of standard hours. Now, a student needs to know that standard hours means standard hours for actual output, which is there again in a chapter called standard costing.
Yes, sir.
In just-in-time system, that same problem, he says labor efficiency is 95%. So a student needs to know what is labor efficiency.
Actual
He
hours
cannot
divided by-
restrict the preparation to few chapters. Let me tell you another point now. There is a question, there is a case study on total productive maintenance, right? In total productive maintenance, there is a case study. I think the name is Super Refineries. If I'm wrong, you can correct me later. Super Refineries is the name of the case study. And in that particular case study, Rahul, the second bit also asks you to compare TQM and TPM.
TPM. Total quality.
TQM is from second chapter. TPM, total productive maintenance, is from third chapter. So you need to have a comparative knowledge as well. Means what? TQM is something which talks about maintaining quality of a product, process or service. TQM definition also is there, official definition. There the focus is on improving quality, whereas in TPM, the focus is only on the machines. So it is more focused on maintenance of machine. Let me tell you, in that case study, Rahul, Super Refineries Limited mein, that company already implemented TQM. But still, it is suffering problems because it neglected the maintenance of the machine. So therefore, to understand that TQM alone is not important. TPM is also important. So TQM, you know, the 6 C's of TQM are commitment, culture,
quality,
continuous improvement, you know, cooperation and customer focus. You know, these are the C's, control as well. So commitment, culture, you know, continuous improvement, cooperation, control, and customer focus. So at the end of the day, focus is on the customer, whereas in TPM, focus is on the machines. So there's a link between second chapter and third chapter now. In the same manner, I'll tell you another point. In just-in-time system, there is a problem where we have to decide whether to implement just-in-time system or not. Now what we do is, we say before JIT what happens, after JIT what happens. Now when I'm doing that, I need to keep in mind that whether to implement JIT system or not is also a decision. No?
Yes, sir.
It's also a decision. And in decision making chapter, we learn that whenever we take a decision, we need to consider only the relevant cost.
Yes.
So even in a decision where you have to implement JIT, it may be a question from third chapter, but what we learn in relevant cost to consider only the cost,
which is changing.
Changes with the change in the decision. Are you getting my point? So relevant cost concept is useful even in the implementation decision of just-in-time, implementation decision of TQM and what not. I can go on and on. Are you willing to listen to more such kind of interlinkings?
Sir, like just you mentioned, it is more like dark series, sir. It is every chapter is very much interlinked.
Exactly. In fact, there is a loop, and in fact, there is a old movie called Pulp Fiction, which released in early 1990s. He's one of my favorite directors. His name is Quentin Tarantino. In Pulp Fiction, what happens? The entire movie is divided into 7 parts, right? And how does a movie play normally? Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6, Part 7. This movie plays 3, 6, 1, 5. So at the end of the day, the viewer doesn't understand what's going on. So everything is interlinked, like the dark series on Netflix, like the Pulp Fiction movie I was talking about.
Also, sir, I forgot the name. NTR
So
movie
how
also.
do many links? Just look at how many links are possible. First one I told, life cycle costing, connect with pricing strategy. aa gaya.
TPM, TQM.
The second TQM and TPM link has come. Implementation
relevant costing.
of just in time requires considering of relevant cost and irrelevant cost. Let me tell you one more. In life cycle costing, our ICI has added one problem. It is now there in study material also. The name of that problem is Y Connections, right? These Y Connections is a company which is introducing a tablet and all that. You can go through that problem. It is in life cycle cost. In this problem, what happens? The design cost is already incurred, right? The design cost is already incurred. What happens? In the calculation, he ignores the design cost and he says, since design cost is already incurred, it is a sunk cost, it is an irrelevant cost, we need to ignore it in decision making. Again, life cycle costing ke problem ke andar, decision making flavor has come. Yes, again, this is an interlink between two chapters. Now let me tell another beautiful interlink. Listen now. There is a concept called scarce resource, key factor, or a bottleneck. What do you mean by this? It is a factor of production which is scarce.
Limiting
Yeah, very limited. And a businessman needs to use it in the best possible manner.
Yes.
Right? This is nothing but the concept of key factor. This concept of key factor, I will tell you 4 points which you need to remember, right? There are many factors of production, but out of that, that factor of production which restricts your production is known as the key factor number 1. Second, every businessman needs to utilize key factor or bottleneck resource to the fullest possible extent. Number 2. Number 3, other factors of production which are not key factors, which are not scarce resources, you should not use it fully. You should use it according to the decision taken about the key factor.
Yes, sir.
4th point, key factor will be always fully utilized. It will never have a spare capacity, whereas non-key factors will always have a spare capacity because they are not supposed to be fully utilized. This one concept is covered in 4 different chapters in 4 different parts of your syllabus.
Yes, sir.
Your syllabus is divided into 4 segments. Chapter 1 to 5, 1 segment. 6 and 7, second segment. 8, 9, 10, third segment. 11 and 12, fourth segment. 4 segments are there. Concept of scarce resource is covered in first segment in chapter Modern Business Environment, where we have something known as theory of constraints. A person called Goldratt has given 5 steps for implementation and how to utilize the bottleneck resource. Those 5 steps are teaching us how to do that. Come on, tell me if you remember, Rahul and everyone else who's watching. Chaliye.
Identify the bottleneck.
Identify the bottleneck resource. Fully exploit the bottleneck resource. Subordinate all other tasks to the decision in step number 2, right? And then we have elevate the bottleneck. Try to increase the capacity of bottleneck. Goldratt says, increase capacity of bottleneck. Don't increase the capacity of non-bottleneck. He doesn't say expressly, but he says indirectly. You need to remember that. The last step is repeat the process and identify new bottleneck. So scarce resource ka concept is coming second chapter. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Same scarce resource concept is there in chapter 6, decision making. There is a beautiful problem in your study material on this concept. Aditya Limited. This Aditya Limited will have 2 factories. 1 factory is in Gurgaon and 1 factory is in Faridabad. In Gurgaon, he will make 4 products. In Faridabad, he will make 1 product. What a beautiful problem. That is also based on key factor. Again, chapter 8, 9 and 10 ke andar, 9th chapter is divisional transfer pricing. In divisional transfer pricing, there is a concept known as transfer pricing along with key factors. And on this also there is a problem. Not only that, in 12th chapter standard costing also, there is a concept known as standard costing along with scarce resource. Means what? When a production manager has wasted a scarce resource, affects your production and ultimately it affects your sale also. So even in standard costing, what we do is, if you have lost sales because of loss of a scarce resource, we shift the responsibility from the sales manager to the production manager. So concept of scarce resource is there in 4 segments of your syllabus. Second chapter, 6th chapter, 9th chapter, 12th chapter. So many interlinkings are possible. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Now, I'm very tempted. If you give me permission, I'll tell one more interlink.
Go ahead, sir. Not my permission.
I thought I was boring everyone who is watching. One last interlink I'll tell you.
Okay, sir.
8th chapter is there. What is 8th chapter? Come on, those who are watching this video think that I am not a faculty, think that I am a student, okay? And I am also preparing for you for the exam along with you. Think like that.
8th chapter is
See,
performance
8th chapter performance evaluation, there is a concept known as the building block model. Yes, this building block model, there is one case study. Name is Learning Horizons. Name of that person is Learning Horizon.
Yes, sir.
And that particular case study is not there in module 3 of study material. It is there along with 8th chapter in the study material. It's not there in case study module. In the chapter, you know what happens? He will ask you to do a variance analysis. In that question, which is from 8th chapter,
Standard
building block model, he will ask you to first do a variance analysis. Then he will ask you to do the results and the dimensions framework. Results and determinants framework. Can you imagine the kind of subject we are handling? What a beautiful subject it is.
True.
So, again, I need to have the knowledge of standard means standard for actual. When I prepare the variance analysis in the question of building block model in 8th chapter, I need to remember the concept of standard means standard for actual. And based on that, I have to approach that case study. If I don't have that knowledge, this case study gaya. If you don't do standard costing and go to the exam hall thinking that you have done 8th chapter very well and this question comes, you are gone. So please note that. One last point, Rahul, I want to talk about is value added and non-value added activities. Oh my God. In how many chapters we look at this point? Yes, value added and non-value added activities.
Almost every chapter, sir, if I'm not wrong.
Every chapter almost. See, first chapter ke andar we have value chain analysis of Michael Porter, value added, non-value added activities. We need to have that clarity. Any activity which enhances the value of product is value added activity, which doesn't enhance value is a non-value added. Simple logic. Polishing of furniture by a furniture shop is value added. Polishing of the office furniture by a software company,
Non-value added.
Non-value added, as simple as that. So we look at this in the second chapter as well. When we do total quality management, there is a question in your study material also where you need to choose between 3 suppliers. This was asked in November 18 also. There we learn that inspection of raw material is a non-value added activity.
Yes.
Inspection of raw material is a non-value added activity because increasingly companies are moving towards just-in-time system, and as per just-in-time system, we should not waste time in inspecting the incoming raw material. Rather than that, select a supplier who will supply defect-free raw material, send your engineering staff to visit the site of the supplier and let him supply defect-free raw material. So यहाँ पे also you got value-added, non-value-added activity or not?
Yes, sir.
Then third chapter, lean system talks about elimination of waste. 7 wastes are there now
Yes,
in
sir.
lean system. What are the 7 wastes? Overproduction, overprocessing, inventory, waiting, motion, transportation, rework from defect. All this is nothing but non-value-added activities only, na?
These
So
must be
eliminating
eliminated.
non-value-added activities is a primary objective of lean system. Just-in-time, Kaizen costing, concept of 5S, TPM, the 6 Sigma, BPR, all these topics are helping you in eliminating of non-value-added activities. Even in 4th chapter, sir, there is a concept target costing. In that there is a question where I think the name of that is Storewell Industries. In case I am wrong, please correct me. In that, he asks you a question in target costing. Identify non-value added and value added
Yes, sir.
activity.
Rework waste and all.
Storewell Industries. I think that guy in that company, he manufactures steel racks. That is a very important question. He manufactures steel racks, and even there, the concept of standard means standard for actual is very useful there. There also आ गया value added, non-value added. 10th chapter, strategic analysis of operating income. There you have manufacturing cycle efficiency, which is all about a ratio between the value added time divided by the total time. Again, there also the concept of value added activity is there, and in fact, manufacturing cycle efficiency we tested in November 2019 itself. So chance of
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
coming again is difficult. Anyway, the last 10 to 15 minutes I have been discussing about the various interlinking of the between the subject. And person who is preparing for subject will understand what I am saying, or a person who is attending the classes will understand what I am saying.
Sir, I have few questions, sir. I just need 2-3 liner answers because there are list of questions so that
I get it.
so
I will
first
keep
thing-
it brief.
Yes, sir. Are study material questions enough with MTP and RTP?
Study material questions are enough, but not sufficient.
You
Now,
need practice.
what I said is confused. See, it's not about that. See, the days where, let me tell you, the days where same questions as practice manual, same question as study material will come in the exam, those days are over. Rather, I would say study material and MTP and RTP questions are enough if you approach them in the right manner.
Conceptually, yes.
You approach them in the right manner, conceptually. For example, there is a question in your study material which says,
Yes, sir.
suggest what are the improvements to be made. When you are approaching such a question, what students do is, first bit practical, they'll work out nicely. Second bit theory, they don't have interest, they lose interest. They will read whatever is given and they will say, okay, we'll manage in the exam. Please practice writing the theory also. When a question says suggest improvements, please suggest improvements from your point of view. Your answers need not match suggested answers. I repeat loudly, your answers need not match suggested answers. Who is telling this? Suggested answer only is telling this. November 19. No, I am not saying. November 19 suggested answer may, below each and every answer, ICA has given a disclaimer that conceptually correct and a brief explanation will suffice. Are you getting my point? So remember, if you get a question where that particular company is struggling to achieve target cost, say for example, first bit is calculate target cost, you have done very well. Second bit says suggest improvements to achieve cost reduction. If a student reads the study material answer and by hearts that and goes, study material is not enough for you. If I was in your place and I am doing a question where second bit says suggest ways for cost reduction, I will think in a very, very wide manner. Cost reduction means how many ideas we can give.
Yes, sir.
Just is there, Kaizen is there, 5S is there, TPM is there, Six Sigma is there, BPR is there, value analysis is there, value engineering is there. So don't restrict yourself to the case what is given in the answer itself. ICA has told conceptually correct and brief explanation will suffice. In fact, for every chapter I have prepared a theory question bank for every chapter, which I will be sharing with many of you in the coming days. I'm not finding time, but that is definitely going to happen somewhere in the month of August.
In your Telegram channel.
In my Telegram, and even I have a YouTube channel started very recently called as Vineet Suresh classes. You can subscribe to that. There I will be revising all these 50% weightage chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 8, 9 and 10. Because from here only you will get around 60 to 70% of marks in the exam.
Okay,
So
sir.
that time I will be sharing a theory question bank. You can use that and feel free to ask whatever doubts you have, whether you have taken coaching with me or not. That is it.
Oh, that's
Come on.
sweet, sir. Sir, one more question, sir. Whenever I speak to people, they always are preparing from the perspective and point of view of old syllabus. They have not had the shift towards the new syllabus. What is your take on that, sir?
See, I don't blame them because in May 2018 and November 2018, the pattern was quite similar to the old syllabus. Yes, only June 2019 onwards, they started making the change, and they also published a FAQ in which they have very clearly said that similarity between old syllabus and new syllabus is only 30%. So usse zyada don't expect any similarity, right? So my only advice to them is they don't have to do anything. They need to focus on theory in an application manner. For example, if I ask you what is TQM and if you give me a textbook answer in the exam, whether you will get marks or no, I can't give you an assurance. But if I ask you how do I implement TQM for a practical case scenario, and if you're able to answer that practically, then you are safe for the exam. So it's very simple subject. You just need to understand things practically. Unfortunately, It is a practical theory, but in our articles, we never have the experience of these concepts in our day-to-day articles career. For example, Six Sigma is practically implemented, but article students never have seen that. So that way we can say that we are slightly at a disadvantage because unless you take industrial training, I don't think you can understand concepts like supply chain and Six Sigma and all these things. But we try to make it as practical as possible in our classes.
Sir, I personally feel it's a very good step from ICI, sir, because the subject is beautiful, like right from
It
the
is,
start.
let me add, it has become easier than the old syllabus if you prepare in the right manner. That's what I want to say. And there are many students who are from Telugu medium background. Many students who are from Telugu medium background who feel that they may not be able to answer the case study just because their English is bad or their communication is bad or their presentation is bad. Those students who are watching this video, those students who are from Telugu medium background, let me tell you that Telugu is much superior to English in all aspects. I'm a big fan of that language. Secondly, it doesn't matter if you are from Telugu medium because it is all over here. Let me tell you in new syllabus, I know a student called Sandeep who got 72 even though he was from Telugu medium background. Please remember, don't have any sort of inferiority complex. If a student knows English but doesn't know Telugu, according to me, he is inferior than a student who knows Telugu but does not know English. Because Telugu language is such that you understand the emotion behind everything in a much better way. So just translate that emotion into English and write. For example, there is a case study where someone is struggling with cost reduction. So think in Telugu, write in English. I repeat, think in Telugu, write in English. Say, for example, I am a Telugu medium student or I am a Hindi medium student, and there is a case in front of me where I have to think of cost reduction. So I will think in Telugu only. అరే ఎలా చేయాలి కాస్ట్ రిడక్షన్, నా దగ్గర ఏమేమి ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, జస్ట్ ఇన్ టైం వర్తిస్తుందా, సిక్స్ సిగ్మా వర్తిస్తుందా, బీపీఆర్ వర్తిస్తుందా, డ్రామాటిక్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్స్ అయితేనే బీపీఆర్ వర్తిస్తుంది, స్మాల్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్స్ అంటే కైజన్ కాస్టింగ్ అప్లై చేయాలి. థింక్ ఇన్ తెలుగు అండ్ రైట్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్.
Yes, sir.
దట్ ఈస్ మై ఓన్లీ అడ్వైస్, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్.
Sir, I mean, a lot of people have this question like, are case studies prepared separately or it is just connected to the chapters?
I would strongly recommend to do case study along with the theory itself, because when the concept is fresh in your mind, please approach the case study. Now, how to approach the case study means, so when you read a case study, parallelly make a summary of the question, because anyhow when we write the answer, when we give an introduction of what is going on, we need to write about the case study. Now, see, two types of case studies are there. One is general case study, one is specific case study. General case study is where you are just asked a question, say supply chain management, say total productive maintenance. There you follow one format, ICAC, issue, concept, applying the concept and concluding. Simple logic. Issue is nothing but writing the question once again. So when I am preparing for a case study, I will write a summary of the question and then I will explain the concept. I will apply the concept and then ultimately I will conclude exactly what I need to do. That is very, very important, right? ICAC is going to be the mantra for general case study. Specific case study is very simple. Whatever he asks, you need to achieve. And there is a case study summary that I have prepared, Rahul, which is having a question summary and an answer summary. I have called it summary of case study. That is only useful for last minute revision. When you are preparing on your own, please have the habit of reading the case study question couple of times and then try to write the answer to case study. When you read a case study and go, you will not be able to write in the exam. You need to practice writing each case study at least once on your own and then check the answer. In our classes, we make them write everything. I'll torture them like anything. So those who are attending the class, there's no issue.
Sir, the one more thing is generally...
And those who need any kind of help with any particular concept, case study and all, I can share my class theory notes also with them. Okay, so you can pass that message also. I'm available. I'm there on
Telegram group.
I'm there on Telegram. Yeah, Telegram group link and all. If possible, you share, Rahul, for this. Everyone who's watching the video. And anything, I'm there. Like any concept you require, I am there. Right? I can share with you the resource. I'll share the notes, whatever it is. In fact, I want to prepare for the subject along with you. That is the level of interest I'm having as far as this subject is concerned.
Sir, one more thing, sir. You always say don't be a slave of formula, be the master of concept.
Correct.
So, I mean, on what context people have to understand that, sir? Like, obviously, there are
See, when I
not.
say don't be a slave of formula, be master of concept, I'm only talking about knowing when to apply which formula. See, for example, in standard costing, we calculate variances. What students do? They will become slave of the formula. Somewhere they would have learned 1 minus 2, 2 minus 3, 3 minus 4, shortcut for formula. It will work out in IPCC and CA Inter, but it will not work out in our syllabus, because in our syllabus, interpretation of variances is very important. For example, in material variance, there is a material usage variance. Now, you should tell what is the interpretation of a material usage variance. What do you mean by material usage variance? What will you write in exam? You write 1 minus 2.
No, expectations
You can't
of
write
the
1 minus
actual.
2.
Yes. Understood, sir.
Material usage variance is what? How much quantity I should have used, how much actual quantity I have used, and the variance may be favorable or adverse. If it is an adverse variance, it means that maybe the quality of the raw material is bad. Maybe the labor who was working was inefficient, and that is why he has used more raw material. Maybe you have changed the supplier, because of which the quality of raw material was affected. Maybe there was improper handling. Maybe there was improper inspection. That is the reason for using different from what the standard is. Same way you need to interpret material price variance also.
Yes.
You can't say the things. I'll give you another important interlinking. Say, for example, my material price variance has come adverse. What is the reason for that? Why did you pay more price to the supplier than the standard price? Means what will you write in the exam? We can
Inefficiency.
connect it to inefficiency of purchase manager, bargaining power of the buyer. Bargaining power of the buyer is one of the 5 forces of Michael Porter in chapter number 1.
Yes.
That is the kind of depth we require in the subject. I'm seeing students who are just following some Xerox notes, some PDF notes,
True,
and
sir.
they think their life has become easy. There is no application. You need the depth in the subject. You need to be smart. You need to be sharp. And let me tell you, if you apply, like how I have discussed certain concepts, the interlinking, think. When I'm doing a concept, can I link other concepts? Think. You may come out with better concepts than me as far as interlinking is concerned, if you apply your mind.
Sir, I mean, I personally feel SCMP is more of real life and practical subject. It is helpful for proactive decisions, how a person should think. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. A person who does SEM and PE will be very, very financially disciplined in his career in the future, because he knows what is cost control, what is cost reduction. He will ensure that he considers all the factors while taking a decision, because in decision, financial and non-financial factor. A person who does SEMP properly will be a very ethical chartered accountant, because you have ethical issues also in decision making. You know, a person who does SEMP properly will ensure that in his office there are no defects in filing of income tax returns, because Six Sigma teaches me to eliminate defects.
And,
so there are no boundaries, and my only submission is that students should do the study material MTP. And specifically, I want to point out May 2020 RTP, where 2 important changes have come. One is the 5S has become 6S. 5S has become 6S, and the 6S is safety. The word called safety has been added. Another thing is a very small concept called Takht time, which is part of your lean system. Yes. That both are very simple. It is there in RTP, but it is not there in study material. Plus, there are certain errors in the study material. There are mistakes in study material which you may not be knowing. Go to ICA website, download, go to our subject. There you have something known as corrigendum. In that corrigendum, you will find list of what all mistakes are there, and ICA has corrected that mistake. One of the mistakes, we have only written the mail and got it rectified. It is from just-in-time system, November 18 RTP.
Sir, firstly, thanks for your time. And I'm pretty sure that you're coming out with a lot of revision videos on your YouTube.
What I actually have in my mind is that, the exam is going to be in November. And there are 2 series of videos which I want to draw attention of the students. One is something known as Case Study Revision Express. This is a series where all the case studies will be covered in a time capsule of 15 to 20 minutes. along with the super summary of the case studies which will be given. This will really be helpful for the last minute revision of the case studies. Apart from this, November 19 question paper of SCMP, November 19 RTP, and May 2020 RTP. These three things will be available on the YouTube channel Vineet Suresh classes for your consumption. And apart from this, we will be focusing on these chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Collective weightage of this is 50% weightage. And I hope that I will be able to start this somewhere in the second half of August. You will have these revision videos on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Right? It will be extremely useful for you. I will make it not too long and not too short also. So three things you can expect from my side, students. One is the case study revision express, November 19, RTP suggested answer, and May 2020 also. And the revision of these topics with 50% weightage will be having. And I am going to make the revision video very differently. I am going to be like a student and prepare for the exam along with you. We'll make it participative, and Rahul, if you can help me, we can do YouTube live also for these revision classes.
Yes, always, sir. As you
But in YouTube live, you can ask your doubt. Someone, I see I'm not so good with all this because we have been busy in face-to-face classes. But if possible, let's do a YouTube live and just invite everyone who wants to come, and so that you can all ask me the doubts. And we put the timing also very convenient now. Morning 6:37, nobody wakes up. Everybody is sleeping and getting up very late. So we'll plan daily 2.5 hours revision session or 3.5 hours. Second half of August maybe, and let's make it very interactive. I mean, it should be as if I'm not teaching anything. Rather, we are all learning something. That should be the objective of revision.
Okay, sir. Thanks for your time. I hope you'll come out with all small bits of motivation in between, so that we'll stay in touch with you. And guys, thanks for your time.
I want to say one thing. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. 70 plus is definitely possible. Keep in mind the weightage of the chapters which we have discussed, the interlinking of concepts that is needed, application of theory that is needed, and you need to stay connected to the YouTube channel so that we work together. You attend the live YouTube revision classes so that 70 plus will be possible, right? It is going to be there in the second half of August, and Rahul has taken the responsibility of helping me with the YouTube live, and we will plan a proper schedule and we will all study together and we will try to get 70 plus. So for 70 plus, you need to do one thing is watch this video properly. Secondly, attend the revision classes, follow the resources that I'm giving on YouTube. After attending the revision classes on YouTube, after that, you will yourself get the confidence of 70 plus. And in the exam tomorrow, if Rahul or any one of you doesn't get a 70, and if you get only 65, I will take that responsibility of you not getting 70 and getting 65. But we will be happy to aim for 70 and getting 65 rather than aiming for 50 and getting 52 or 53. So I would like to end by saying that please keep in mind that 70 plus is a dream, and dreams are something which don't make us sleep, they keep us awake and we chase after them. The great man who said that was APJ Abdul Kalam, and remember who this man was. There was a small boy in the city of Rameshwaram who used to get up at 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning at 10 years of age, right? Now when I'm motivating, one student is asking me where my specs is. Okay, I'll wear my specs. Fine, now will you...
You look smart without specs.
The reflection is coming, so I'm removing it. Okay, na? I clarify all doubts. Remember. Now listen. So this small boy, aged 10 years, in the South Indian town of Rameshwaram, used to get up in the morning at 4:30 and go to the Rameshwaram railway station, wait for the Dhanushkodi Express to come. There he would pick up newspapers, take a cycle, distribute newspapers throughout the city of Rameshwaram. By 5:36, he would be back home, get ready, go to school. His age is 10 years. 10 years. Go to school. After finishing school at 3:30, he would come and help his father in running the small general store that he had. And after 4:30, he used to be so tired. Still, he used to study. Whatever food was there, he used to eat. And this was the life of this 10-year-old boy from Rameshwaram. This boy went to become APJ Abdul Kalam, who is my role model, who is all of our role model, we can say, in the 21st century. If a 10-year-old boy from Rameshwaram who used to throw newspapers door to door at 4:30 in the morning can become the president of this country, the best president of this country, can we not try to aim? I'm not saying get, at least try to aim for 70 plus in this subject. So let us derive inspiration from him. He is my role model, and the way he left this world also, he was giving a lesson to students, and that is when he left the world. I think that is the most beautiful way to leave the physical body and go to the other world. And therefore, let me tell you once again, this session was purely how to get 70 plus SCM in 30 minutes, but we didn't do it in 30 minutes. We took 60 minutes. So therefore, please remember, stay connected. I will guide you. I will hold your hand and I will guide you. The only thing you need to do is stay connected, be active on the Telegram group, on the YouTube group. You can join the group. You can subscribe to my channel, Vineet Suresh Classes. And this is my Insta handle. You can message in this as well. And I am not going to rest until and unless I ensure that each one of you gets 70 plus in this attempt. I am not going to rest. Second half of August is going to be our revision sessions on YouTube, and it's going to be live. And I assure you that I will give my 100% efforts. I want all of you also to be there, and we are going to make this happen. Even the word impossible, if you split it, it says, I am possible. And therefore, come on, motivate yourself, wake up, and let's give our best. And remember, falling down is very common. But even when you fall down, remember, you are still moving forward. And therefore, keep in mind, 70 plus is our target. We will give our best efforts. What is in our control is to aim for 70 plus. Will I get 70 plus? I don't know. But can I aim for 70 plus? Yes. What is in my control is to do hard work. ICI may be cancelling the exam, but ICI cannot cancel your confidence. ICI can postpone the exam, but ICI cannot kill your spirit. Corona may kill people. Corona cannot kill your exam spirit. So please keep in mind, nobody can touch that spirit of yours as long as you keep it in your control. Stay connected, stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much, Rahul, for doing this. And it was a pleasure to be with you and everyone who's watching the video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Keep smiling. Those who missed, we'll be uploading it on YouTube as well, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you, Vineet, sir, for your time, for your precious time. Have a nice day, sir. Stay safe and stay home.
Thank you, Rahul. Bye.
Bye, sir.